It always bothered Trump that Kamala Harris was a career prosecutor and he is a convicted felon. He couldn't debate that she held the moral superiority over him, which is why he always resorted to attacking Biden, even though Biden wasn't on the ticket. It's the place where he can't win. The law holds, and he will always be a 34-time convicted felon. And I think that's partly his obsession with Letitia James, another black female prosecutor who has stood up to him. He is so obsessed with her that when real lawyers wouldn't bring a case against her, he got his personal lawyer, a former beauty queen who's an insurance lawyer who's never tried a criminal case, to secure an indictment. I bet he thought he'd have her running scared, but here was her reaction.
I stand strongly behind my office's litigation against the Trump Organization. We conducted a 2-year investigation based on the facts and evidence, not politics. Judges have upheld the trial court's finding that Donald Trump, his company, and his 2 sons are liable for fraud. I'm a proud woman of faith, and I know that faith and fear cannot share the same space. And so today, I'm not fearful. I'm fearless.
Trump manipulating norms and having his loyalists go after his so-called political enemies simply because they shined a light on what a fraud he is part of why Americans have such distrust in institutions right now. It is pissing off non-MAGA Republicans. I talked to the other side, and they are mortified at the way he attacks universities, at the way he weaponizes the DOJ to go after so-called political enemies, about the way he has defunded critically necessary nonprofit organizations. They can't defend the way he's messed with the farmers, especially the soybean farmers. He's so messy, he almost pulled $187 million in funding out of the NYPD's counterterrorism budget until Governor Kathy Hochul called him up and said, if you don't put that money back, I'm going to tell everybody you defunded the police, and he caved to her. Throwing cocktail parties in his new Rose Garden Club while building a $200 million ballroom for himself is not exactly America first, especially when military families are lined up at food shelters because the government doesn't function under him. This weekend, we're gearing up for another round of bipartisan No Kings demonstrations, where neighbors can see other neighbors and start to reestablish what America first means. Because it doesn't mean giving $20 billion to Argentina while there are unhoused veterans. And it doesn't mean spending taxpayer dollars to try and silence anyone who dares to criticize the king. There are no kings. No kings.